Hello and welcome to Only Fools in SAFC, back again with another video. So after the manic deadline day yesterday, I just thought I'd jump on and give my thoughts on the overall transfer window that we've had, of the players that's come in and gone out, and see where it's going to take us moving forward. So there was a lot of negativity around the club yesterday and the previous few days, wasn't there, about are we going to bring anybody in, about the players going out potentially. And is it going to be an absolute nightmare, and we're going to get relegated back to League One, and there was all sorts of those type of comments going on. But it ended up yesterday where we got 4 players in and 4 players out. So we'll just run through these one by one. So first through the door was Mason Burstow, a young kid from Chelsea, 20-year-old striker, 6'1", started his career with Charlton, went to Chelsea, hasn't really played a great deal of football. But was he coming from Chelsea? You would think that he's half decent. Now I know you cannot really tell from YouTube clips, but I had a little bit of a look last night, and the clips that are on there, he looks decent. He knows where the net is. He's quick, he's mobile. So, looks on paper a decent prospect. Again, on a years long loan. Get that right, put my teeth back in. So he was the first one. Secondly, the ongoing saga that was rumbling on for weeks and weeks and weeks for Nazari Ruzian. That was confirmed. I think he did his medical in France, so he hasn't actually been to the club, but he did the medical in France. He's now confirmed on a 4-year deal with a 1-year extra option. He is injured at the moment. He's got some kind of pubic bone injury, but apparently he's getting fitter every day, so it might be a while before he's in the team or in the squad. 24-year-old, again, he's experienced in Ukraine with Zoya Luhansk, get that pronunciation right. Knows where the net is. He's got a decent goal scoring record in Ukraine. He's also played some international youth international football as well. So 24 is probably the most experienced of the signings that we've made, but that's 2 strikers in we got yesterday. Thirdly, late on last night, we got in Timothy Pembele, who's a young right back from PSG. 20-year-old, again, don't really know much about him, like most of our signings that's been this season. But again, coming from PSG, you would expect him to have some quality. I think he has played in the same team as Mbappe and Neymar, so he must to get the game for PSG, he must be half decent. He has had a bad ACL injury, I think, at 21-22, so he's coming. I think he's fit or getting fitter, and he's coming back from that. So again, it'll take him a little bit of time to get up to speed and start fighting for a place. But again, another decent prospect. And then finally, we had, get this pronunciation right, is Adil Aouchichi, I think that's how you see it. Again, another French young lad, like a French Revolution at the moment. 21-year-old attacking midfielder, can play a right wing, centre mid, left, anywhere across the front, like attacking midfielding wise. Now, Christian Speakman's comments were interesting. In his statement to say, he's a decent prospect. He hasn't played football regularly recently, which is a bit of a worry. I'm not too sure what that means, whether he's been injured or just been out of favour at Lorient. But he started at PSG as well, then went to Lorient, and he had a decent season. Probably the start of last season, but he hasn't played regular, so I'm not too sure what's went on there. But we'll have to wait and see. But again, on paper, another decent prospect, quick, nippy, skillful. So they were the 4 that came to the door yesterday. Outgoings, well, obviously we know that Ross Stewart, that was becoming a bit of a farce, wasn't it? Was he going? Was it on? Was it off? Had he failed his medical? Che Adams wasn't going to leave, so they were going to knock that on the head. But it ended up where Ross has gone. He signed I think it's a 4-year deal. A deal worth £10 million. I think it's £8 million plus £2 million add-ons. Ross County will get 15% of that, so I think we're going to pocket around about 6.5 or 7 million quid out of that deal. Now, it turns out from Speakman's statement after the game yesterday, where not after the game, after they sold him, that, you know, Ross made it quite clear that he saw his future away from the club, which, fair enough, it's up to him. Wish him all the best, but just leaves a little bit of a bitter taste in your mouth. Apparently, you've offered him the wage that his agent requested. Apparently, he's gone to there and getting 30 grand a week. So, you know, best of luck to him. We'll see what happens. But Ross Stewart is now a Southampton player. Elliot Embleton went out on loan to Derby. Kind of makes sense because of the attacking midfield players that we've got around the club at the moment. He's just come back from an injury. Be good for to go down to League One, have a good season, get yourself back up to fitness. I believe there is a recall in place in January if need be, so we'll just have to wait and see how that one pans out. But overall, I think that's a good move for Elliot Embleton. Lyndon Gooch, gutted about this one if I'm honest. Signed for Stoke, £1 million deal, 27-year-old, being an absolute legend. Not legend, legend and a massive servant of the club. Started here when he was 10, he's been at the club 17 years now, through the good times and the bad, and he put an absolutely fantastic statement out yesterday after he'd gone, thanking the fans and the club for what they've done. If you haven't had a look at it, get yourself on the SAFC website and have a look. Great to read, and I wish him all the best. You know, I'd love to see him back at the stadium sometime. Like I say, a great servant of the club and a player who always gave 100%. So a little bit gutted he's gone, but I can see from the club's perspective, you know, moving forward, why they've done it. But I would like to have kept him just for his experience around the club and the team. But Lyndon Gooch has gone to Stoke. And finally, the last one last night, woke up this morning to see Danny Batt had gone to Norwich, which I'm proper upset about that one, annoyed. I think, you know, I would have kept Danny Batt, but it's been on the cards for, you know, the previous few weeks. He's been linked with Blackburn. He was linked with Cardiff earlier on in the day. That kind of fell through. Norwich then sold their centre half for £20 million. They've then come in and signed Norwich. It was done very, very late. Signed there on a years-long deal with an option of another year. 32-year-old, but last year's player of the season, and then gone and forced out. That's a bit of a strange one, but, you know, again, wish him all the best. But again, another one I would have kept because of his experience. I just think he's a great leader, and he's great around the young lads. He always conducted himself as an absolute professional. So a little bit gutted to see him go. But so that was it for in, for out. So if we look at the transfer window as a whole, so these are the total players that we've signed. So like we just spoke about, so we've got Mason Burstow, Nasri Rujian, Timothy Pembele, Adil Awashishi yesterday. After that, we've got Lewis Emir, Triantis, Jensen Sealt, Bishop, Jude Bellingham, Bradley Dack, and Isaiah Myendia. So they are our 11 signings. Now, an average age of 21-year-old for them 11 players. Like we've been saying over the past few weeks, would have liked a little bit of more experience in. You know, Bradley Dack and Luke O'Nien and Alex Pritchard are probably now the most experienced players that we've got. But overall, on paper, 11 players in. Time will tell who's going to be the good ones. The all might be good, the all might be bad. We just don't know. All we've got to do is take our time, let them settle in, and see where it takes us. Me personally would have liked us to get some more experience in, but it's clearly that this is the model, what the club's going to. It's buying younger players, developing them, and then selling them on. Ross Stewart, a prime example. You know, we signed Ross for 450,000. We've just sold him for 10 million. That kind of thing. So that's the way the model and the club's going to go. Will it be good in the long run? We just don't know. But I say all we can do is get behind these young lads. Hopefully they settle in quick. Hopefully they can hit the ground running, and hopefully they can start showing the quality on the pitch. You know, we didn't know the likes of Clark, Serkin, Ahmad, Ballard before they joined, and now it's the same with these lads. Let's hope they can do the same type of thing and fit in nicely. Outbound, like we said the four yesterday, Ross Stewart, Embo, Lyndon Gooch, Danny Batt. Added to them, we lost Bailey Wright, Leon DeJacu, Carl Winchester, Isaac Lee Hadji, and then 2 out on loan, Alex Bass and Joe Anderson. So, and the average age of them ones that we've sold were 27. So again, more indications of what the model is like and the route the club is going to go down. Interestingly enough, you know, we've only now got 1 player on loan, which I thought we might have exploited the loan market a little bit more, but Tony Mowbray did say in his press conference the other day that the club didn't want to sign loans. They wanted to sign their own players to develop them. They've done that. So we've only got 1 player on loan, which is Mason Burstow. So overall, my score of the window, you know, it's hard to judge because yes, we're getting players in. Like I said, there's not a lot of experience. So just based on prior history, what we've done with the other players, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, and wait and see how these players settle in and reserve judgment until we actually see them in the flesh. Let them settle in, see where we are January, and then we'll decide if it's been a good or a bad window. Time will tell. I'm hoping it's going to be good, but like I said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Be good to know what you think. I know that reading social media, there was still a lot of negativity around, you know, I'm not signing players or players that we know, you know, named players and experienced players, but you know, just because they've got a name behind them and we know who they are, doesn't necessarily mean that they're any good. You know, all players start off being young at some point. Let's see where it takes us. Let's see how they go. Let's get behind them, and hopefully we can have a decent, you know, first half of the season and see where we are January. But see, let me know what your thoughts are. Good, bad or indifferent, and watch out for the match review from Southampton today. Hopefully we can, you know, get a decent result. Just before I go, I'd just like to say I'm pleased that we've kept the likes of Pritchard, Roberts, Clark, Serkin, all these players that were linked with possible departures yesterday, and we've kept them, which again is another positive sign. You know, if them had gone, we might have been here talking about something completely different, but we're not. We've kept them, and that's positive signs. So thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.